Hey, what up, guys? Just coming at you with the weekend preview um, for February 23rd. We got three different cards on tomorrow night or tomorrow altogether. I'll go in order from which they're going to be on. Start at 12:45 on Showtime. You're going to see a card coming from the United Kingdom, and it's probably the best one of the day. It has the best matchup in the main event, but which is James DeGale and Chris Eubank Jr. But I'll go into the undercard first. You might see all three fights on the undercard. Lee Selby, former featherweight champ, is moving up to lightweight, two weight divisions following his last fight, and is going to take on American contender Omar Douglas. That should be a decent fight. I'm predicting Selby to win this one by a decision. And then the co-feature is Joe Joyce, new heavyweight on the rise, taking on former world champ Bermane Stiverne, the guy that Deontay Wilder knocked out. Joyce is a rising star in the division. He's up and coming, and he's got a lot of power. He fought under he opened up the Deontay Wilder Tyson Fury card and got a big knockout back in December. So I'm expecting another knockout like this over Stiverne. Stiverne hasn't fought since he lost to Deontay Wilder in one round. Roughly a year and a half ago. And then prior to that, he hadn't fought in 2 years. So Staverne's a name. He's a former world champ, but I really don't think he stands a chance in this one. I'm predicting an early knockout for Joyce and him to stay undefeated, but it should be entertaining. And then in the main event, you got James DeGale against Chris Eubank Jr. Really good super middleweight fight right here. This is 168 pounds. Big domestic rivalry between two guys that flat out do not like each other. And there's a lot at stake for both guys outside of just pride. DeGale, former two-time world champ. He's currently ranked third at 168 for me. He's at the tail end of his career. He's trying to hold on for some bigger fights and maybe another world title shot. This would be a big win. He's coming in the favorite. It would be a big win for him, and it could definitely lead to his next his final chapter in his final big opportunity in the sport. So big time fight for him. Chris Eubank, a little bit younger. He's coming off a win back in September. He lost last year to George Groves, though, when he challenged for his only world title. This is a big opportunity for him to try to take a step up and get another world title shot. We're going to see what he has. I really think this is a 50-50, close to a 50-50 fight. I think DeGale is a slight favorite. I'm picking DeGale to win this one by a close decision. I wouldn't be surprised if he outboxes Eubank, but I do think Eubank has a pretty good opportunity to pull off the upset here and punch his ticket. And whoever wins this fight has big opportunities waiting for them, because 168 is flooded with PBC fighters, which DeGale's with the PBC, and Eubank will work with the PBC. And then they're also flooded with fighters from the United Kingdom. Callum Smith is the undefeated champion there. He's number one. He won the World Boxing Super Series. That would be a big fight for the winner. Billy Joe Saunders is moving up to 168 to challenge for a vacant world title, supposedly. So that would be a big opportunity. And then you also have the undefeated Caleb Plant, who's American world champion, which would be big too. I think he'd want to fight either the winner here. So big opportunities for the winner. It's going to be a good matchup. I think it's going to be a good fight. Personally, I believe it's the best matchup of the day. So make sure to check that out. That's 12:45 on Showtime tomorrow afternoon from the United Kingdom. Now we'll go into the next card, which is on DAZN. I'm really not going to – I looked at the card. The card's not that great. The main event is really the only thing that's somewhat intriguing, and it's on DAZN. It starts at 4 o'clock, and the main event's going to be Brandon Rios against Humberto Soto. Rios, former lightweight champ. Soto, former two-division world champion, trying to, at a very old age, trying to, pull off a win here. Rios is kind of taking on names. He beat Canelo's older brother, Ramon, in his last fight. He's taking on names that people know, but really not threats to try to get himself back into the title mix at 147. He proved he can bang with good fighters at 147, because he was in that fight with Danny Garcia before he got knocked out back in February of last year. So, we're going to see what he has left. I like Brandon still, but we're going to see if he can maintain and move himself into another world title shot with a win. Soto, I really don't think Soto stands a chance here, but you never know. Maybe he could pull off, something. He's just too old, in my opinion, but he's still a name. He's a name that people know. So I may or may not watch this one. But it's a name. Brandon Rios is still a name who's worth watching. And then the final card is on Fox Sports 1 tomorrow night. That starts at 7 o'clock. It's actually going to be a double, co-feature and a main event. The main event, let's go to the co-feature. It's featuring welterweight contender Jamal James. He's just staying busy, taking on Janner Gonzalez, whatever. This is just James staying busy as he's trying to lobby himself for a world title fight. He's only lost to Yordenis Ugas, the guy who's facing Sean Porter in March. He lost to him a couple years ago by decision. Only loss of his career. He got a nice win at the end of 2017 when he knocked out Diego Chavez, who's a good former world title contender. And I think, I think James, he's tall, he's lengthy, he's got an interesting style. He's also a PBC guy. So, this is a guy that could be, you could see facing somebody else trying to, a name trying to take a step higher in the welterweight division because this guy bangs with the PBC. So, pretty good, solid fighter right here. I expect him to get a knockout, possibly a decision, and stay on track for a world title. And he is in my top 15. I have him at the back of my top 15 ahead of guys like Andre Berto and people like that because he's done more. So, pretty solid fighter right here. You should check him out. Then in the main event, you got Anthony Dirrell fighting for the vacant WBC super middleweight title. He's taking on Avni Yildirim from a Turkish contender. This is an interesting main event. Dirrell's coming in a clear-cut favorite. He's a former world champ. He's contemplating retirement though after this title fight. He could just hang him up after becoming a two-time world champ. He hasn't really discussed that yet. All the way he's been. There's just been rumors and talks. We know that if David Benavidez beats Jay Leon Love in March, that Benavidez is in line to challenge for this title because it's a title he never lost. He got stripped of. So does Dirrell want to go in against a heavy-handed, fast, undefeated former champ like Benavidez in his next fight? We just got to wait and see. But either way, it'd be a good way to close out his career if he can get a big win here. Avni Yildirim, he's best known for fighting and getting knocked out against Chris Eubank Jr. in the quarterfinals of the World Boxing Super Series Season 1. That was about a year and a half ago when they fought. He went in, he was slugging with Eubank, and Eubank just dropped him and knocked him out in like the third round. That's his only loss of his career, but that's the only guy he's really fought that's significant. I really don't understand how he even earned this world title fight, but he's in it. We'll see what he's got, but I'm predicting Dirrell to get a middle to later round knockout win here. It possibly could go the distance, but I think that Dirrell will finish him off and become a two-time world champ. And then we just got to wait and see what he does after that. So that's it, guys. 3 different cards. You got DeGale versus Chris Eubank. Big fight right there. Brandon Rios and Humberto Soto. That could be exciting. And Anthony Dirrell against Avni Yildirim, which also could be an interesting and exciting bout. So check it out. True Boxing. You've been hit with the truth.